to a literacy training course, which I'm excited about. But since I'm early, I thought I'd pop on real quick and just maybe bring up a point that hasn't been talked about yet with the mainstream media much. So the Alberta government has put together these packages to help parents teach their kids if we aren't able to miraculously come to some sort of agreement by midnight on Sunday. So we were looking at these packages, and first and foremost, if they could throw all that together for this, I don't know why they couldn't do it for COVID, because man, did I have to scramble. But I was looking at it and I thought, here's why. They just put in one lesson plan. So when my son who's in grade 8, has special needs, is on an IEP, he has accommodations for reader, scribe, tech, that sort of thing. So I opened up the grade 8 lesson stuff, and the first thing I noticed was, this looks familiar. I think we've already done this stuff, because I check over my kids' homework. And the lessons there are already what the teachers have taught in September, first and foremost. Secondly, there's nothing there that he can actually do independently. He would need me to sit down with him and do the work. But it's also not modified, right? So he has, for multiple choice, my kid's only supposed to have 2 modifiers. Well, that's not the kind of assignments that are put out there. They're just not appropriate for my child, and my child's needs are not that significant compared to many, many, many of my students. What about the English as a second language kids? There's no options for them to copy paste into other languages. There's nothing there for them. So they put together this curriculum, which has already been taught this year for the most part, and is only designed to fit one kid. And that got me thinking, that's probably the government's plan. They really are trying to defund education. They're trying to change the way we do things so that it is not inclusive. Because guess what? They don't care. They think all kids should fit into a cookie cutter mold, and that's why they've only provided you one lesson for one grade, despite the fact that it will not meet the needs of the majority of the kids. It'll meet about 25% of the kids will be able to sit down and do this work. The rest need some kind of support and modifications. And it's just not there. So if that's the mindset they're going into when they're talking to teachers, they're like, dude, we gave you the stuff from Khan Academy. I hope they paid them well for that, by the way. No, that's not what we do. Dude, I take that lesson and then I would have to spend at least 45 minutes making sure I have differentiated lessons for all my kids so they could all work and that my translations were available. And dude, they didn't do my job. They can't replace what we're doing unless you're one of the lucky parents whose kids are going to fit into that cookie cutter mold. And I hate to tell you this, most of our kids aren't there because COVID, right? The other thing is the $30 a day, that's for kids under 12. What about our kids with severe needs who need $30 a day isn't going to cover daycare for? And what if they're over the age of 12? So if you have a nonverbal kid who's 14, you're not going to find somebody to watch your kid for $30 a day so you can work. And so then they're like, well, use your FSCD funding. That's family supports for children with disabilities. We get things like respite. We can't use it during school hours and they won't lift the restriction. So now you have a whole demographic of parents who have children with severe needs who do not have lessons that are appropriate for them to teach and do not have the funds being provided by the government like other families. So look at the discrimination here. Our government surely wants a one-size-fits-all education plan, and we don't live in a one-size-fits-all province. We don't live in a one-size-fits-all world. So if you want to know why teachers are going on strike, this is a prime example. Because the government doesn't care about all our kids. It only cares about the English-speaking kids who are at grade level. And I'm going to leave you with that this morning. Please call your MLA, call the Minister of Education. Please ask them to call you back. They legally have to. Emails they don't have to respond to, they just calculate. Written snail mail, they have to reply to that too. All of those things are time sucks. So let's just fill their time with nothing but, dudes, get back to the table with teachers. Where's my funding for my special needs kids? Why is my child's lesson plan something they've already been taught in school and isn't at their grade level? Why are we asking high school students to learn how to write a sentence when yesterday I walked by a grade 3 classroom which was celebrating writing their first paragraphs? Our government is clueless. Seriously, hold them accountable. They're your elected representatives. And please support teachers because we've got your kids back, which means we have yours. Have a great day.